I think, okay, I think what he's...
No, so that is now agriculture.
Okay.
If you now go to manufacturing, eyo mirimu nayo weri. Then services. Onozagamba, you can see border, abana bari border. That is now services. Then the ICT. So emirimu ejjudde potential eriwo naye timugiraba mugireka wano ne mugenda kukola emirimu y'obuddu mu Bawarabu. Okay.
Next question is from Dada Yenyini. I don't know if that's what, I don't know what your actual name is. Can you introduce yourself?
Ghetto structures zino zibayambye nnyo okuva mu mbeera gye baalimu ebyalumi nti bannabyabufuzi baalinga babakozesa okwekalakaasa nga babagulira enjaga n'okubawa buwalagi ne babagamba mugende mukuma ebipiira ku makubo mwokye enguudo. Essaawa eno tekikyaliwo era ndowooza olaba emyaka 5 giweddeko teri mwana wa ghetto yeekalakaasa. Pulezidenti, ekibuuzo kyange, ogenda kukuuma otya embeera eno oba okwongera otya abaana bano essente ez'okwekulaakulanya n'okubongera emisomo? Ekirala, waliwo ghettos okwetoolola Kampala mu cities endala ezitali Kampala, zo olina nteekateeka ki egenda ozituukamu? Neyanziza President.
Zonna tugenda kubanga eno PDM gye twatandika emyoga, youth fund, ensawo ezo zonna zaali za kugeza okulaba ekikola n'ekitakola. PDM egenda kukola bulungi, ekyalinamu ebizibu bitonotono naye egenda kukola bulungi kubanga bananyini kintu bebagirimu. Abanaku wadde bakyabuzibwamu oluusi tebajja mu lukiiko olujjudde general meeting okulonda akakiiko ka saako akafuga saako, oluusi tebajja ne wajja batono ne beerondamu bokka. Naye ekyo mwena bwe mukyogerako ne mugamba nti olukiiko lwa general meeting ya saako lulina okubeerawo mu nnaku bwezitiini, buli muntu yena n'amanya kigenda kukola kubanga eri emabega nali nsindika ssente za NADS, Operation Wealth Creation, naye nziyisa mu bakozi ba gavumenti. Kati abakozi ba gavumenti abo nagenda kuwulira abantu eri wansi bagamba nti beegabira bokka. Nengamba nti oba beegabira bokka, kati sente zino mwekoleko mmwe. Buli muntu yena omukulu mumuluka ayingire mu saako bw'aba yagadde emyaka 18 okudda waggulu. Kati abo be balonda akakiiko akanaddukanya saako y'omuluka. Naye tebanakikola bulungi kikyabulabulamu, but they will learn. So n'abageto nabo tulina okubategeka mu bitundu byabwe kubanga bw'okwataganya ensawo n'ekitundu kyanguko nga kati omuluka emiruka gimanyiddwa, buli omwana n'omuluka gy'ava. So it is easier to check than when it is vague. Kiri your district wala. So we are now going to organize the ghettos in a way which is easy to monitor. And we shall put money, like we have done for the PDM, we shall put different money for all those groups. Even the churches, we shall give them money in their dioceses. The ghettos, the ones of Jinja, Mbade, Mbarara, all of them we shall support them.
Thank you, Mzee.
Kubanga sente ezo amagoba gali wansi bwe tukoleza akakadde oluvannyuma y'omwaka okomyewo akakadde n'emitwalo 6 kati bogeraganya na money lenders ngeri babadde bakuwa akakadde oluvannyuma lw'omwaka n'okomyewo miliyoni nga 6 kumpi banyunyusi n'olwekyo eno enkola egenda kukola naye mulina okwongerako okulonda ababaka abalumirwa ensonga zammwe kubanga bano abagezigezi oluusi bagezako kubanga sente zino nungi banakigwanyizi abamu bagala kuzitwala bazikozese bakola ebyabwe kati mmwe mulina okuzirwanako ate nemukolagana n'abakulembeze abalumirwa ebyammwe bemuba mulonda si bano abagenda kukola ebyabwe.
Thank you, Mzee. The next one is going to be asked by me, and I wanted us to show us a small little clip on the screen, so maybe you can organize that quickly. Precious? Yeah.
Mr. Gamba bingi.
Amazina ganje mbanyeta akampura Evarist kurga kuma takadariye town council Mahane village Kamenge district kabani nsoma kabana iko senior 1 akafizi kabarabara mu mbazire habwensonga y'obworo kunabe nashita mahawo bwire bucenda kwega funo mukisa wo kugira ngende kusomera busa chenjojo kijwiga skilling center ndayo nsoma amezi 6 gasoma yo skill 2 mindset change na welding and metal fabrication kunabe nargayo ndiaho mutawo no botachfitinga amaboko hano izo yindikire mufuno mugisha ntandika gukorana na custom engineering during the construction of Katarieba Central Market. Nkora nabo saving of sente wanje kukora mpora
Ni wayabo
custom engineering.
Ni bantu kyabo.
The company is from Tororo.
Ni bakora kyo.
They constructing a Katari Central Market ya Katarieba.
Okay.
Atukuna obsento buna saving jere na gura mu machine kumara ntandikira nkora mpora
They wanted to switch to, can we do it quickly? Is it possible? Did you want to take off the... Then my question is, I was showing you that skilling clip to say that for me, while I was with you on the trail, I noticed that many of the young people kept saying that one of the things that they really picked up from the 6 months they went to the skilling hub, those regional skilling hubs, they would get a skill like, say, welding, like that boy, and then they talk about about it?
Of course, that's what I was telling you. Those children in their local language say, mindset, Nkashoma mindset. They don't even finish the whole sentence. They say, Nasoma, Butwario, Nasoma, Okutunga, Atene Somana mindset. They don't even finish the whole sentence. But what they mean, mindset change, which is taught by our UPDF officers who come there and show them that what I've been telling you, because that's what the other Kawes, was he called Kawes? The one who was saying that why do we go to the Arab countries to look for jobs when they are here? It is a mindset problem. Mindset meaning you don't have the spectacles to see what is available for you. And that's what they are talking about.
Okay. But what can we, how?
And that's what we were struggling with in the 1960s. That was part of the problem. And mindset, like for instance, when NRM came from the bush, the 10 points program, point number 5 was talking of the building an economy which is independent, integrated, and self-sustaining. And it is that effort, which is not fully implemented, just partially, that has made Uganda succeed. The other day, during the New Year's speech, I told you that now, our unprocessed coffee, we are struggling to add value to it. And when you get $2.5 per kilo, a very good coffee called Screen 18. But when you add value, you can go up to $40 per kilo. That's how the coffee business in the world is $460 billion. But the coffee producing countries of the whole world, including Uganda, take only 25 billion out of the 460 billion. A country like Germany, which has no coffee, earns $65 billion from coffee by using the coffee of the sleeping people. In Hamburg, you have got all the coffee processing there in Hamburg. Germany earns more from coffee than all the coffee producing countries of the world. So this is the mindset. This is the mindset change we are struggling with at the local level, at the individual people's level.
Is there a way that we can all, that more of our young people can access?
It can be in the school system. In the school system, they are beginning to introduce it, the new syllabus. Because the new syllabus was talking about skills. To go back to our tradition, the myoga.
Okay.
For instance, when you get a degree in what? Conflict resolution. No, what's that? What? Somebody even gets PhD. But what will you do? What if the conflicts are not there? What will you do? So you can find the education system had been derailed really it is as if it was deliberate to make Africa import dependent. Import everything. Even food. So the syllabus, the new syllabus, the new curriculum, which we worked out, is attempting to send back people to skills. Yes, me, I'm a man of literature. I can quote for you Shakespeare, what Shakespeare said, how he was standing, he was looking this way, and he said this. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Museveni. It shows that you can remember things. But what are you going to eat? But I have my mwoga. I am a cattle keeper. Literature is just for interest. So that one is the one which will reorient us, which are reoriented us, and that's how we manage it, and then others can also join us.
Thank you, Mzee.
To have a society of skills,
Of skills and of a self-sufficient thinking, maybe.
Yes.
Our next question is from Isaac Katende, popularly known as. That's you, right? Yes, please introduce yourself.
Thank you. Hello? Yes. Thank you, Natasha. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good morning, His Excellency.
Morning, Katende.
How are you doing, sir?
Very well.
I can see. Things seem to be going well for you. Now, just a minute, Madam Natasha, I just want to borrow just 2 minutes before I ask my question. I hope the camera is getting me well. Okay, so we are live on Kasuku Live, and I want to tell all my followers out there that welcome to the presidential. Finally, we get to ask the big man our questions. So before I go any further, I would want to first shout out to my people out there. My Jajja is watching alongside my son and my wife. Mwenamba tumiddeko banaye gye muli eyo mugamba mutya. Zubeda wangambye omukulu be mutuukako nkwogereko. Ogamba otya Shalom, Frank Ntambi, nammwe mwenna abali eyo. Kansuubire nti muli bulungi. So the question I have is about digital media, Your Excellency. Today I don't want to brag, but I'm one of the biggest YouTubers in this country. In real time here, we had over 10,000 people before we went off that we are watching on Kasuku Live. So that means it is something very big. For the youth, we are making money off these platforms. Like you can see, Natasha is here with her phone and a stand. And today you're talking to over 2 million, 3 million, 5 million Ugandans with all of us combined. But we have not yet seen government involvement in supporting us. We are not talking of supporting us in terms of giving us money because we are making the money. Of course, courtesy of the environment the government has placed for us to be able to work. But we are seeing issues like the cost of internet is high. We are seeing platforms like YouTube being shut down. A very good example I'll give you. Today we have people on TikTok, like all of these. If you ask these people where they were 3 years ago, they were putting on suits, going to offices to ask for jobs. Today they will tell you they are able to make 3 million shillings a month and they feed their families. So we are trying to find out how do we get the government to support the digital space? How do we get government to enhance, to understand from the things you've been explaining to us, farming and all of this, the digital space brings us closer. It connects us, the farmers, the manufacturers, but we are not seeing government coming up to tell us or even to understand what the digital space is. Of course, people talk about digital this, digital that, but we have not yet seen someone who has come up to grasp it. Where Natasha is trying, you can see, She's putting up these engagements for us, you know, to come and talk to you. But we want the technocrats, we want you to understand that even if we are not farming, but we can use this digital space because it has so many apps like YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. People are selling items there, people are creating content on there, and they are making money, they are very okay. However, what we have received now, we see government coming up, shutting down Facebook. Some government officials are telling us we shall lock down TikTok, you know, all those things. And then we are wondering, if this is trying to solve the issue of unemployment, how come nobody is trying to come closer to us to understand how this works and to see how they can help us? I can
see that Katende lives in Jerusalem, but doesn't know what is happening there. I was the first follower of that capacity of the digital. Because previously we were depending on satellite, people who were communicating by radio, by digital, electronic. We are doing so through satellite. The physics of that is line of sight. That's the physics of satellite. It's like I see with my eye, then enhanced. But it was very expensive. I don't have the details here. There was so many dollars per megabyte or so. There's something there, the way they calculate it. Is it megabyte or what? The cost. Per what? It was a lot of money. So Katende didn't know that I'm the one who worked very hard to bring the backbone, the underground network. What do you call it? Huh?
Fiber.
The internet. Yes, I am the one. I'm here. There was a problem which I were following very closely. Of course, Katene didn't know because he was comfortable in his house. But me, I was not sleeping because the undersea cable from Asia was passing through the port near, through Eden. It was passing through Eden to the Red Sea and going to Europe. And then another undersea cable was passing from Cape Town, Atlantic. So there was a gap between Eden and South Africa, which we worked with so many people. There's now undersea cable to Mombasa, to Dar es Salaam, and then underground cable from there to here now, from Mombasa and from Dar es Salaam. And that's how the cost came down. The cost, you can get the figures how it came down from so much by satellite to so much now. It is much now. There was a tax there. We had put a tax. I don't remember. I think that's what you should discuss. If the technology now is there because the underground cable is there, and it is being sent to all parts of the country. You can check. I think even Arua now may already be having the underground cable. That's the infrastructure which is crucial. Now, if there are any other little issues like tax or what, that can be looked at. But the infrastructure, we foresaw that and we put it there. Now, there were attempts by the telephone companies to monopolize, but we said no. Electricity, the railway, and the internet backbone, they call it internet backbone, must be owned by the government, so that we are not there to make profit. We are there to facilitate business, as we are saying. Now, closing Facebook, yes, we closed it. I closed it, Facebook. Nijifunga. Because they were idiots. They thought they could insult us, play around with us, and we would not close them. We closed them. And I waited for the cows not to go to graze. The cows are going to graze. Fishermen are fishing. Uganda is continuing. We closed it like 5 years ago. Forgot about it. So we want to put discipline among them. There's no other issue. Otherwise, if they behave well, fairly, we shall open them up. We have no problem. The only thing there would have to be tax. Why the cost? I will check. Why the cost not even lower? Does anybody here know? Wanyama, would you know? We shall find out and let you know why it is not even lower. Now, recently, I have been in talk with Elon Musk. He has been telling me that his satellite, it's called Starlink, that when I allow him to come here, although it is satellite, because satellite was expensive, that's why we migrated from satellite to underground cable. But Elon Musk has been telling me that no, satellite is now cheaper. They call it last, what? When they got the last person.
Last mile.
Huh?
Last mile.
Last mile. There's also something about, they say there about the person, the customer. Direct to the customer. So we are studying that. We shall, if it is true, we shall allow Elon Musk to bring his satellites here. If they can make that digital connection cheaper than the underground, then we shall. I became aware of this long before Katende was born. When were you born? When were you born?
I was born 6 years after you came.
That time,
No, 4 years.
4 years?
Yes.
1990?
Yes.
Yeah, because when I visited China, 89, that's when I negotiated with what was the company? The one which did the internet? Huawei. That's when I negotiated with Huawei. So we are aware of all of that.
Let's first get some others and then we can come back. Okay? Thank you so much. Kasuku is a big internet personality. Mzee, I'm saying Katende is a big internet. These are big internet personalities. All of them you see here. Mm-hmm. They have very interesting.
I'm very lucky to be.
Yes, indeed.
In the presence of such.
Do not make the link between regional integration, the production that has increased with Ugandans coming into the money economy, and the opportunities, direct and indirect, that they can receive. So we'd be happy for you to give them a detailed message around those opportunities. Thank you, Excellency.
This is where the Africans, and for this beef, the Banyankore don't buy from me. Why? Because the Banyankore also have their own milk, their own beef. They don't buy from me. The ones who buy from me are the people of Kampala. So that's why me, I am a lover of Uganda. Because Uganda is the one which is crucial for my prosperity. You can see my cows there. Now, they are the ones who buy my milk, who buy Uganda, Kampala, are the ones who buy my beef, who buy my milk, who buy my bananas. And that's why I say patriotism. Love Uganda. Other people say love Ankole, love Buganda. I say, yes, I love those, but Uganda I need it more than any of those. Because it's the one which will support my prosperity more. But then, because we have now discovered that Uganda is not than the United States. If you look at the water, you look at the minerals, you look at the forests, Latin America is richer than the United States. Why should the United States be more prosperous than Latin America? Because of that difference of integration. When the American colonists separated from England, they formed the nucleus of the United States. The 13 colonies, they formed the nucleus, then they have been adding on. That's why in America you can easily succeed if you are a businessman. Because if you are in New York, you produce a product, you can sell it all the way up to California. 300 million people. Now in Latin America, you are in Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, you are here. If you produce a product, you can't. How would you succeed? Here in Africa, if I produce a product to go to here, I must negotiate. To go there, I must negotiate. That's why we had to try and revive this African community. Now, but there's also the issue of strategic security. That's why for us we support the Federation of East Africa. Because as we speak today, the Americans are on the moon. The Chinese are, the Europeans are looking at us from space like looking at, they are seeing us, we don't see them. This is very dangerous. And you have all these Katendes, all these fellows, influencers. What are you influencing? Why don't you say, you people, you are in danger? People are on the moon, we are here. They are seeing us, we don't see them. But can Uganda and the Americans, they have been saying so openly, they say for them, they want to be superior in land forces, superior on land, superior at sea, the Navy, superior in Air Force, superior in space. Where does that leave Africa? Africans are here, dance mpaka China, dance mpaka China. Yes, you dance if you want, but please, look at your future. Where is your future? How will you be safe? How will you be safe in the world? Huh? So that's why you can bring my tablet. Can you bring my picture? Nikuli. I'm lucky to see this Gen Z banange. Ngati shimi banange. Mlete kifaananyi kyange. Bring my picture. Banange Katonda jali. Abakuru bano bonna bali wano ngenda kufuna omukisa mbalage. Tetubaddeko. So that's why we was talking of the East African, for economic prosperity, it must be economic integration in East Africa and the whole of Africa, a common market of Africa. We need a common market of Africa. We have started and we have got what we call CFTA. the continental free trade area, so that we can trade. The market is there. Ate wewunya Abafrika wano n'abantu abalala obewunya. The Chinese are 1.5 billion inside China. But you find the Chinese dying for more markets. But now mu China. Nate balwanira nakatala kafe akaba abantu million atano. Somebody with 1.4 billion people is still hungry for more market. You, of a smaller number, you are not even bothered. Dance back at you. Are you not an endangered species? Why don't you see that? Why would the China get worried? Yet he has already got 1.4 billion people inside Abamugurako. You are not bothered, you are just here. So that is for economic prosperity, but there's a strategic security. Because with the economic integration of East Africa, of the common market of Africa, we shall deal with the economy. Businessmen will have a market where to sell, and they will invest more. And if they invest more, they create jobs, the jobs we are talking about. Because if I'm a businessman, I sell more, I expand, I create more jobs. But that one does not address the issue of army, because the common market doesn't involve army. Defense. We need an African political unit that can guarantee the defense of the black race. That's why we have been talking for the last 60 years of the East African Federation. East Africa would have the capacity to go to the moon and check on what those fellows are doing there. The moon is a common property. Mukora chiwano kumwezi. Na Africa tuli wano tuli dance mpaka chini. People on the moon, they are looking at us like babete ebinyomo, these insects which eat sugar. The insects, emunyo babete chumurugana. Warwe biuka ebiria sukari. Ebinyomo. Tuli wano ngebinyomo batulengala bulengezi. Wenza kuleta dumu nofuira rufu. Nebifa byonna nokutegeera kibitegedde ani abisi. So this is very dangerous. Naye kambaleetere ekifaananyi kyange. You can continue, Natasha. They bring my.
Okay. Our next question will be, thank you for your responses, Mzee, always very enlightening, always. I pray that they stick with us. The next question is from Hassan Chikomeko.
I want to first wish a happy new year, Your
Happy New Year
Excellency.
to Hassan who?
Chikomeko. Hassan Chikomeko, Kana Kambata. I work with Fly Express, led by Chairman Peter Kagwa, and I'm your neighbor in Entebbe.
Okay.
I've been the youth chairperson of Entebbe Municipality.
Okay.
Allow me Mzee, mfukamire nkwebaze kuba oli Jajja. Thank you for the peace. I'm one of the youth who appreciate what we have in Uganda. Weebale nnyo, nsaba Mukama akutukuumire nti akaseera ne we kaliba katuuse ng'ovuddeko olisigala okyawabula Uganda in terms of security and peace. Tulya, tunywa, tutambula, byonna tubikola. Thank you very much. I want also to thank Madam Masera. If it wasn't her, I wouldn't have been here, for recognizing me. My question is, Your Excellency, having led Uganda for decades and having witnessed different generations, as Uganda prepares the next generation of leadership, what structures are you putting in place to ensure young Ugandans transition from dependency to productivity, especially in employment, skills development, and access to capital? Thank you, Your Excellency.
No, it is what we have already talked about. For the capital, we have all these funds which we started, PDM, all those funds, they are there. For the beginners, for the richer ones, there is UDB. We have put quite a lot of money in UDB. And we're going to keep adding on. Now, for the market, that's what we anticipated. That's why we negotiated with East Africa to have a common market. For infrastructure, you see what we have been doing. Electricity, the roads, now the railway. But now also to mindset change. That's why we are talking of the new syllabus in the schools, the skilling hubs, like you saw those young people there talking. So we are working on every side, software and hardware both. We are working on both for you to succeed. Software including attitude.
Thank you, Mzee. Thank you. Next question is from Marcela Kareche.
Mzee, you've already touched on Pan-Africanism, citing strategic security as a major reason. And you kind of preempted this question, but please repeat your wisdom. What lessons can we learn from America's actions in Venezuela, for example, recently?
Well, the one thing you can learn is that Venezuela, I don't know what they are fighting for. I'm still watching, studying it, because the Americans are saying that this was the Uganda August of June 1963. I remember I was at Ntare in the school. They hung this paper on the notes board. And I was so happy because we had Kenyatta, Obote, Mwalimu saying now they are going to cause East Africa to build East African Federation that year, 1963. Wadri, come and take it and take it around. Wadri, come. Muleke. Mawadri. Okay, now you take it around. Go from here, this side. You keep it. It's your gift. So, I don't know what they are quarreling about. The Americans are saying that some of the Latin Americans are sending drugs to the US. But whatever the case, we shall find out, we shall learn more. But whatever the case is, you can see the gaps, which I'm telling you about. Because the Americans are operating from 4 dimensions. They're operating from sea, they're in the sea. The Latin Americans are not there. They don't have a navy. Then they can come with air force, and then space. They're in space. Now they are trying to come on land, which of course is very risky also for the Americans. There you come near, because even me, who has got a short range, I can harm you. But there you are at an advantage. You are seeing me in space. I'm not seeing you. You are in the ocean. I'm not there. I'm here. So this is what we are talking about. That the Africans, because of that was our target in 1963. And Marimu was going to move, but Kenyatta and Obote decided to remain big fishes in smaller ponds. Some people like that. When you're a big fish in a smaller pond, you feel very, very big. But when trouble comes, you may not survive. So, the issue of the strategic security of Africa is very crucial. East African Federation, I'm glad the East African leaders have never given up. Even when we were last in Arusha, they appointed me as an advocate for the Federation, so that we are able to unite our land space, unite our sea space, have more resources to be able to build capacity in the 4 dimensions: on land, at sea, in the air, and in the space. Good space. We must go to space. We can't remain here when other people are in space and you think we are clever. Dancing and watching European football clubs. It's very, very risky for you people. So you should wake up and wake up the young. Yes, the young generation should have pleasure, but also they must have security, a secure future. And they have all the potential, because like East Africa is very strong. Because we can use Swahili. They are the same groups. You have Kenyans like Nyangweso. That Nyangweso is a Kenyan. He's here. All those Samias are from Kenya. Then we have Congolese. Also here, Banyarwanda, they are all. So East Africa is a very powerful unit for the black race. Yes, you can have smaller countries in the world, like in Denmark, but they all have a center of gravity. When they're in trouble, there's a big boy like the US to defend them. Now the African race have no center of gravity. And you are here just dancing in Pakachini, dancing in Pakachini. very risky very risky. I was young like you. I would also dance, swing girls like this. But I would also remember to fight. Fight, study, fight, work, and dance once in a while. But the problem is that you are now dancing all the time. Thank you very much.
Our next question is from Sean Ibrahim.
A jazz with Jajja. Thank you, Mr. President, for the peace. I want to thank you in 2 dimensions. Being a very good peacemaker, you've made Uganda ekifo buli omu kyasobola okuba nga yeeyagaliramu ng'akola emirimu. Nange nasobola ofuna omwoga ogwa TikTok kwenkolera emirimu nga promoting Uganda positively. And another thing, I want to thank you for being a good father. Look at Natasha, Precious Kamwine, my cousin. If it wasn't them, I wouldn't have been here. It is such a very big recognition for us who always fight for the government online. My question is, what motivates you to be the person you are? We've seen you on several occasions, you're doing the press-ups. Even recently, yesterday, I saw you standing in the rain without moving. Like, what motivates you to do all that at that age? And another thing, Mr. President, I'm 30 years, but I always pray for you. I no longer pray for myself. I pray for you. You live longer and longer. At least on my age, at least they subtract some age to give to you so that you can keep this country intact. Because at least maybe my purpose will not be very much, but your presence, over 40 million people are relying on you. They are there dancing, they are there fishing, farming, and all those things. My question is, what motivates you to be the person you are? My name is Sean Ibrahim.
Now, what motivates me is because I love myself. I love myself as a person of the Cow clan, Owente, as a Munyankore Mhororo, as a Ugandan, as an African. I'm very, 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 I love you people. Now I have children. All of you are my children and grandchildren. And we could see from the 60s when we started following, we could see that if we didn't do this or that, we could be in danger. Could be in danger. The world is not kind. If you are weak, you can disappear. And I don't want my race, my African people to disappear or to become slaves. Because when you hear America, the people whom you call Americans now are Europeans who went and took the land of the Indians. Because the Indians were stupid, they were not organized. And the Europeans had already tried to take our land. Those who came to South Africa, they are taking the land in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, even here in Kenya, in the 1950s, we were learning of something they were calling the White Highlands. Part of Kenya was regarded as White Highlands. That's what they were teaching us. But what happened at that time, there were changes in the world which favored us. By 1900, the whole of Africa had been colonized. Our stupid chiefs had failed to defend us because they were fighting among themselves. So the whole of Africa had been colonized. But what happened was that in 1912, the Africans in South Africa formed the first resistance movement, the ANC. They formed modern people now. Actually, it started in the US, the black people there. Some of them started Pan-Africanism. There was a man called Marcus Garvey, another one called something else, I've forgotten their name, W.B. Du Bois. They started talking about African freedom, African freedom. When the whole of Africa had been colonized, except for Ethiopia. So in 1912, the Africans formed the ANC to resist. Then in 1917, we had good luck. Russia was taken over by communists. These are where people who had a different idea. They didn't agree with imperialism. The communists, they took over Russia. So they started working with our anti-colonial fighters. And then also, African witchcraft worked. Because the Europeans, because of their greed, started fighting among themselves. The First World War. Our African magic worked. They started fighting among themselves. The Germans and the British and all that group. And they mobilized our grandparents to go and fight for them. So our grandparents went and saw, oh, okay, this is how you fight with modern arms. So by the time they ended this First World War, their quarrels didn't end. Then they started the Second World War. That was even worse for them. By that time, they were so weak that countries like India had to get independence. Because they were not only colonizing us, they were colonizing also Asia. Asia, India, Indonesia, Vietnam, all those were colonies. So by the end of the Second World War, they were so weak, they couldn't keep India, Indonesia, Vietnam, and Africa was also on the way. Now, then 1949, China was taken over by communists. So the anti-imperialist bloc was very, very big and powerful. That's how they had to give up, give independence. But otherwise, really what they wanted was to do like what happened in America, where the indigenous people either disappear completely or survive as second class. So that's why this is what I cannot accept. You can see these wonderful people, my children, my grandchildren, you people. I want you to be free people. So I can't compromise on that. And because of that, we started fighting with our own fools here. who are wasting our time. I mean, what? Toka. You don't know what you are doing, and that he wants to be our president, Idi Amin. But you don't know what you are doing. And we are in war. We are in a war with serious people. Then you come here as a joker to waste our time. Get out. Toka. So that's really the motivation. Freedom for the black race. Freedom for the black race. Insurance. Freedom and insurance of freedom for the black race. Now, about stamina and so on, this is partly also because of, I think I was lucky because my family, because the African people are very strong. The problem are the kings, the ones who are really wasting our time. The rulers are the ones who waste our time. But otherwise, Africans are very strong, especially in this area here. You can read what Stanley wrote. Those are explorers who came here, Huntington Speke, Stanley, they wrote, said, these Africans, these fellows are advanced. Who are advanced? Agriculture, bananas, cows. The problem were just our rulers who were always fighting one another, full of themselves, king, what. Then they divide us. But otherwise, the communities are very strong. Now, the luck I had was that my family never got involved so much in the colonial system, was never involved in the colonial system. My great-grandfather was alive when the Europeans came. He died, I think, around 1915. He never joined the church. He kept with his cows. He didn't join the colonial system. He didn't join the church. He died in 1915. Then my grandfathers were there. They were rich traditional people. They never went into the churches. They never joined the colonial system. They remained with the cows. They died, I think the last died around 1943 there. It was Kaguta who was the first person to go into the church. And by that time I was there myself also, so I went with him as a junior member, and we joined the church in 1947. But even when we joined, we remained traditional. See, traditional people are very strong. They are not very strong. Stamina, looking after cows, what. So things you find, even when I was joined the army, what they were doing, the army was much weaker than my lifestyle. As cattle keeper, you are very, very tough. So it's just luck, because I think if I had joined the chapati eating and all that, it may have been different. But I'm an original Minyankore who knows English and has studied the world. This is the advantage you read about the stamina. My uncles have just died. They were one of them died at 104 years. Another, Kaguta died when he was 97. But for most of the time, he was looking after the cows. Even in the 90s, he would go and these children were seeing him. He was looking after the cows. So it is that tradition. If you can imagine the Karamojong, if he doesn't become disoriented, he is a very strong person. That lifestyle there is gives you stamina. So the culture I had a discussion with the Nabagereka, and she was trying to talk about the culture. I said, yes, we can audit it. We can audit the culture and see some of the practices which are out of date and remove them, but keep the others which are very strong. So I think it is that combination, the motivation to make sure that you don't become slaves, we don't become slaves, And then secondly, the stamina is from the historical accident of a traditional man arriving in the city. Because they had never seen traditional people here. They had people who had become like westernized. I'm not westernized. I'm an original Mnyankore who just arrived in the... From when I came to Mbarara, 1959 for junior secondary, that was my first time to go from the village to the town and see rice, all this. And for us, we didn't like those things. The rice, we're giving it a bad name. Our things. Even now, I eat my mhogo. I don't eat rice. So that is the...
And for us, the chapati eaters, what is our hope?
But remember that millet is there. You can come back to millet, you can come back. Because me, I eat millet. They know. I eat millet, I eat muhogo. I eat our food. I don't eat European foods.
And you inspire all of us, Jose. We're almost coming to the end, and if you do give us time, if you do have time, we can ask. I can ask like 3 more people to just add on. But for now, we have just 4 questions left. One from Mr. Nyangweso, one from Musa Sekamanya, one from the head of the PPU, Sanda Walusimbi, and I wanted to ask something about the PDM if we have time. But let's first hear from Mr. Nyangweso.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year, Your Excellency. My name is Timothy Nyangweso. I work with UBC. My question is something you've hinted on, education and human resource of the country. I was reading the Uganda Education Statistics Abstract Report of 2010. It shows the numbers grew to 8 million plus who are enrolled in primary school. Secondary school, it goes to 1.1 million. Then tertiary, it goes to 174,000 people. The question that I'm asking, Your Excellency, you have solved the quantity problem, number of children getting to school. The biggest question now is on quality. What do you envision as quality human resource of a Ugandan?
Even the quantity is not fully solved, because as you say, there are 8 million in the primary school, which is 7 years.
Yes.
Then you go to the secondary school, you find only 1 million. What has happened to the 7 million? And the secondary school system is 6 years, almost up to A level. So that means there's a big number of school dropouts. So even that one is not fully addressed, because the local elite, because of their not seeing far, have not implemented UPE properly. They still bring back charges which chase children from the school. That's how you have the difference between the 8 million plus versus the 1 million. That means a big number have dropped out, which is what we are going to resolve in the coming Bisanja, because in the government schools, I would like to get completely free education. Like I'm giving in the skilling hubs, the one they were showing you here. Children study free. Now, on the issue of the quality, the quality, some elements of it are good. For instance, science education in medicine, in engineering, in sciences, is good. It's good. You get very good scientists. But the problem was in the big numbers of social sciences. Because of the culture of administration, people wanted to be administrators, to be office workers. But that one we are addressing in the new curriculum by really going to the yoga, to the skills in the educational system. So it will be handled. Some of the quality is good because of the intellectual side, science, intellectuality is very good, some of it. But globally, the emphasis on social sciences created a lot of people who are not fitted for the job market, for the economy. That's how you get all these unemployed graduates, children who have finished university but cannot get jobs. So we are handling both. We shall handle both the quantitative, which is not fully implemented, and also the qualitative, by emphasizing skills. You can be a social scientist, but do farming. That's a skill. Do farming. Do something which is needed in the job market. Mm-hmm.
It was Mr. Nyangweso, and then I think I have Musa.
Webale nnyo Natasha. Mzee bampita Shafik Mukulu, Chairman Ghetto is Yellow.
Okay.
Bampita Shafik Mukulu, Chairman Ghetto is Yellow. Mzee nze ngenda kwogera ku bintu bya ghetto. Ngoberedde nnyo campaign zo ziwe zogera nnyo ku PDM. Naye ku PDM wetuba twogetu olimu kujja Kampala mu campaign. Kampala ejjudde abapangisa. Tuli bapangisa waliwo abaana bakulidde ku street. PDM eri all about agriculture. Agriculture eyetaaga ettaka, eyetaaga space. Otegekedde ki abaana b'e Kampala nga ffe abaghetto?
Ab'e Kampala nabategekera dda. Bw'ogenda waliwo eri munda oyise Kasangati, waliwo abantu ba workshops benatandika nabo. What do they call those villages beyond, after Kasangati?
Gayaza.
Migera? Mi what? I've got a lot of groups which have supported. The groups nyingi zempagide is workshops. Like here there was a group here in Serbia of furniture. Nabawagira. I supported groups in is it Nigeria? Nigeria. There's a girl there called Youweri. You can go and check on her. We supported their group. So we can support artisanship in the town. Artisanship, services of welders, border borders. Border borders is urban. Border borders, you can see them there. Chigo. Let me come back, just 1 minute. You can see them there.
Hello. In the meantime, we can continue with our introductions. I think we had started, we'll stop that side. Sir, introductions. Quick introductions before music comes.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year. My name is Emmanuel Lumala Dombo, Director of Information at the NRM Secretariat.
Yes, all right. Happy New Year. God is good. Twebaza nnyo Katonda olwa kino kyatutuusizaako. Amanya gange nze Jennifer Fulfiga, ndi President's Advisor, Sister wa Natasha. My sister, I want a new photo with you. Ntandike na kyo guno omwaka. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Arinda, aka Madam CEO, Madam Coffee. I'm a Muzukulu.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Robert Sharp Mugabe. I work with Government Citizen Interaction Center as the Deputy Director.
Mugamba mutya basebo ne banyabo amanya Bukenya Media. Oba Bukenya Nelson oba Bukenya Media.
Basebo ne banyabo muje baliko amanya gani bampita Ronald Muhwana, CEO PL on TV.
Basebo muje baliko ne banyabo muje baliko amanya gange nze Nachanzi Sumaya aka Maya nga ku social media nkozesa NRM Warrior. Thank you.
Balamusisa basebo ne banyabo amanya nze Zakia Lucky nkola ne UBC, everything to do with tourism. Era nkola ne Miss Tourism Uganda and a stylist at Zack Styles.
Good afternoon. My name is Maureen Babidia. I'm a news anchor with UBC Television.
Happy New Year. Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Steve Washington. I come from 100.2 Galaxy FM Zina and Galaxy TV Jikonkoni.
Good afternoon. My name is Sky Soldier representing to the world. I'm the CEO Sky Soldier Media, everywhere you go.
Good afternoon. My name is Jisui David, Good Times Media.
Good afternoon. My name is Muindo Innocent, CEO, Innomite Media.
Good afternoon. Happy New Year. My name is Rachel Namsoke, CEO, Lumpe Media UG.
We will continue later. Mzee is coming back. Thank you.
So we are very, very conscious tukimanyi nti omutawuni ebitundu ebimu bya tawuni muyinza kukola gye tuyita peri-urban agriculture ebiri balibali eyo nga Kazo, Nansana, oyinza kulunda enkoko, emanju, naye mutawuni wakati waliwo ebyobugaga ebikwatagana bulungi ne tawuni. Artisanship, carpentry, metalwork, shoemaking, knitting and weaving. We have been skilling many youth in Kampala here. She has been skilling. Where is Emyoga? They are there. They were showing some here. Can you show them those activities on the TV? Then services, border, bakery, all those for the town. That's what we emphasize. Tuchimanyi, I know it. I will not be talking about PDM in Kawempe because it's not so much applicable as it is in the rural areas. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Mzee. We're almost coming to the end. We have a question from Mr. Sandawalu Simbi. Then we have a response to Kasuku Katende's question. I think someone wants to respond to him after Sanda. Moses Birhanga will respond, and then if you allow, we can have 2 more questions depending on your time.
Okay.
Thank you, Natasha. I'll just quickly go back and tell Mr. Simon those chapels of Bugolobi we should stop. Now, Your Excellency, as the world shifts towards multipolar power centers and rapid technological change, like AI comes to mind, digital trade automation, cryptocurrency, etc. My question is, what strategies will ensure that Uganda is not left behind? And how can Uganda leverage global diversity in wealth creation? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Uganda, what is crucial is African integration. If that one is happening, then there's nothing else that the rest will be easier. That's why our emphasis on the East Africa, so that East Africa operates as a common market, but even better as a political federation. But in the short run, at least as a common market. And we are moving well on that. If we have that, and then we have the rest of Africa as a market, where we sell and buy from, there's nothing that will stop us. Others may work with us, they may not, but we shall survive and thrive. So Africa is the crucial area of operation. The rest is additional. Okay. Now, about the multipolar, that's all right, because hegemony doesn't work. Hegemony is people trying to control the world. It's very dangerous for you to try that. That's how Austria-Hungary collapsed. Because Austria-Hungary was, first of all, Rome. You remember Rome, the Pope? The Pope was trying to control the whole world. That they were Christian, because they had become Christians, so he wanted to control all of them. So much so that when Henry VIII wanted to marry another woman, then the Pope made it his business to go and stop him. So problems started. England with Rome, and the wars. The Spanish Armada, 1588, when they tried to invade England. Trouble, but we try to Pope dominate the Christian after so many wars. It caused a lot of wars. Then when capitalism came, the 1789, there was a man called Metternich in Austria-Hungary. He was the chancellor of, tried to exterminate capitalism, tried to invade France, and it ended up destroying the whole of the empire of Austria-Hungary. So Martipora is unstoppable. Can't stop it. You can't and you shouldn't even try. It's good. What they should aim at is win-win. Because I've been telling some people, why do you want, because like now, you're wonderful Africa. I don't know whether you have those computers which you go with, you don't work, you sleep. Me, I don't have any computer with me. Just keep them far away. Even the phones, I don't go with them. But for you, always with them. Stops you from thinking. But you can check. Your wonderful Africa, the GDP, I think now is like 3 trillion. The whole of Africa. Do you have your phone? You check now. The GDP of Africa. Me who doesn't go with phones, I have it in my head. I think it's about 3-point-something trillion.
3.1 trillion.
Imagine, the whole of Africa. Obugagabo Africa yonna is 3.1 trillion. All the dancers in Pakachini, all the... Now you check the GDP of United States. I think it's about 30 trillion. 30. Check the GDP of the United States.
31 trillion.
30.3. 30.6.
31 trillion.
About 31 trillion. So you imagine, people, United States is a quarter of Africa. Africa is 12 million square miles. United States is 3 million square miles. You can fit USA into Africa 4 times. It will fit there. We are 1.5 billion now. United States is 300 million. So, for them to have so much money when we have so much wealth. And what I've been telling these friends, of course, the problem is first of all us, you people, the influencers. Because the influencers, Bakatende, they're influencing people in the wrong direction. Instead of orienting them in the right direction of value addition, because the biggest problem of Africa is producing raw materials. Losing value, hemorrhage, narutuma ekigambo, erinya ekikulukuto. Ekikulukuto, you remember I used that when I was with the other Gen Z. You must stop the ekikulukuto. The hemorrhage, this is a sickness among women sometimes. Banyangore call it ekyejwiso. Nebanga abantu abagana bakiyita ekikulukuto. This ekikulukuto of Africa must stop. Losing money, losing jobs. And it is that which creates this poverty. So I have been asking to answer your question of Martipola, what? I've been asking my Western partners, you people, why do you want to trade with poor people? Why would you not see that it is in your advantage? Now Africa, if Africa was like, because if you take the GDP of US, which is 30 trillion, for 300 million people. That means that each person has got like $60,000 or what per capita would be what for the US? Maybe about what?
$60,000?
Yes, about $50,000. Now, if Uganda, if Africans, 1.5 billion of them, if they were not necessarily 50, even if they were like 30,000, what will be the GDP of Africa? 30,000 times 1.5 billion. Like 45 trillion?
50 trillion. 450 trillion. 1.5 billion times.
No.
It's 45 trillion, Your Excellency.
45 trillion. Yes. That should be at least if we were there. Would it not be, wouldn't America do better business with us if we had money in our pockets? They could sell us more planes, they could sell us more this, more that, more that. So why would you want, if you are a clever, I can see that some of these Western thinkers are also not good planners. Because Africans are friendly to Europe. We speak English. I don't speak Chinese. I don't speak Russian. I speak English. I am a man of Shakespeare. So why don't you take advantage of me and you do business with me? But in order for you to do business with me, I should have money in my pocket. So if you come here and you want to take because now when they take unprocessed gold, which is 84% pure, they give like $60,000 per kilogram. When it is processed to 99.9%, like the one in Busia there, it goes for $120,000. So in a kilo, we would be losing like $50,000 per kilo of gold if you sell it unprocessed, unprocessed. If you process it, you use more electricity, local. You create jobs, you get more money. And in that way, I can buy more from the US. That's what I'm telling them. You people, wake up. Don't want to maintain poverty in Africa. This 3 trillion is a shame. And you have got all these influencers. What are they influencing the banana? Kateni. Influencers bano banana. Abantu mbalagawa. Africa must have a GDP, because very soon, in the next 30 years, we shall be 2.5 trillion, 2.5 billion. We shall be a quarter of the human race, but disorganized. So that's why I want you to be organized. The bali benasinkana lwakitula Gen Z waliwo muzukulu wange
Sandra is here actually.
Where is Sandra?
She's here. She has a testimony.
Oh, amatoke gaffe gatuusewa.
What omuzinda alundako?
Happy New Year, Mr. President.
Happy New Year, Sandra.
How are you?
Very fine.
Thank you so much. Bana ikansoke nkwebaze Mr. President kanfukamire nako. Fukamire wano wondaba.
Abanyangule tebafukamira.
Tebafukamira.
Bafukamira Katonda yekka.
Anze kanfukamire ne yanziza nnyo amatoke gatuuka. Bampa bunches 5 nenga tunda. Ne kakati kapita tene ya still nagana okuwera. kati nengera mu kampani yange ya ushering agency gye nnina kuba nina abaana balingana beemployinga kati mwe nayongera
wajjamu sente
nagajjamu 25 gyokka
5 bunches.
Yes.
Gonna congress some more bunches.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much.
Osibukawa.
Nsibuka Matugga Katalemwa.
Wano ewaffe?
Awo nyini, Bombo Road.
Otwalwa naawo?
Awo nyini. Yes, Mr.
Wali tolabanga ku matooke. Tewere matooke eyo?
Tetulinayo gonna twagatema.
Kyafuuka kibuga kati?
Kati tewakyali nindagago opozi. Tewakyali matooke ngenda kulindagago.
Very good. Sandra n'okumwongera bunches nga 10 ndowooza mwe nga 10 zigenda kwengera.
Nazo tujjazi oba tugenda kuteesa Mr. President ekyokukola ekituufu.
Kale Sandra. Now, the reason how I linked up with Sandra, she was Como Sandra. Sandra was pleading for imports. Until to say, no take a commissaro ko Mvirzavafu, Esipa Weru, into 100 same Virzamafun Zingera Were. Nimuga wantineda muzukuru. Enviri z'abafuzi n'okwereza omusolo. Zemijja bweru. Bwemba mwagala enviri za wano mukozese wano kyewalo bafu wano mbajje kwe. Oba mukozese ebyayi. Muleke kuleeta enviri z'abafuzi ebweru. Kaweke. Kati zino za Karuzosa, Karufua, za Karufua ezivo bweru zirina okuweereza emisolo. Kati kwe kumugamba muzukulu nemugamba nti bw'oba toyagala kuweereza omusolo genda ntungamu ewaffe ogule amatooke ogaleete Kampala awo tekuli musolo gwonna. Internal distribution. Because they talk about taxes. Yes, we are taxing, but taxing imports. Not only imports, but luxury ones. We don't even tax medicine. We don't even tax machinery. We tax luxury items. So that's how I linked up with Narijagala Yingiremu business, internal distribution. Amatoke, Okugaja Ntunga Monagare Teno, Ebikaru, Oricha Wete Ebikaru. Ebikaru kuvuga kibugeyo nobilete no mbende produce. So you see you got some money from the bananas. Very good.
Your Excellency, to add on what you mentioned when Kasuku asked the question about digital, your government has done a lot. For instance, Mr. Kasuku was talking about digital employing the youth. Under business processing operations, BPOs, today 25,000 youth in Uganda are engaged in BPOs, working for companies outside Uganda while they are here in Uganda. And one of the enablers to that, and we are targeting 150,000 in the next Kisanja for 25,000. What has also enabled that is the cost of internet has gone down from $70 per unit in 2018 to now 35. We are now reducing the cost of internet, and also the speed of internet has significantly improved from second generation, which is 2G. Now we are at 5G. So that's why we are able to do this TikToking at a faster speed as if it was in Europe. Lastly, Your Excellency, waliwo abuuziza wano ku kyaba Gen Z ekisooka ghetto youth ekisooka Your Excellency ng'oyita mu office yo ya State House Controller wateekawo saako ez'aba youth buli division mu Kampala wasooka na milioni 10 kati oyongeddemu biliyoni 1 bagenda kuzifuna mu biseera bitali byawala buli division kati kyetwetagako ba youth bano training them into skills. Babeko chebagalo chibakola chibasobola okwekolera ninga balina kasente basobola okujja saako bajeyo mu banka yaabwe bewole ku magoba ga wansi ennyo basobole okukola business. Ate Your Excellency also office yo eri mu kuzimba workshop emulago wane Kawempe erimu common user facilities ng'abakola engatto abakola bags ensawo oli aleeta buleesi leather material n'agenda wali byuma byonna weebiri babiguze mu ebiri kontwala yamaze okubigula mu ebiri mu workshop eyo bisobola okukozesebwa. Abaagala okukola ebitabo tulina section y'ebitabo, tulina y'engatto, tulina y'ensawo, tulina abakola amasweta knitting ebyuma ebikola goleeta wuuzi ne bakutungira wali n'ofuluma n'ensweta zo basobola okukola esweta nga 10 buli lunaku nga ez'enjawulo kala ez'enjawulo okusinziira ky'oyagala n'ebirala. Pulezidenti yatunulira omuntu wa bulijjo yatuma wano ttiimu yaffe n'agamba waliwo abantu bano ab'endaba abatunda amenvu ku nguudo mu bibbo. Pulezidenti n'atutumayo ne tubasinkana n'abolezayo ka kapito emitwalo 10 buli omu n'atuma waliwo mumanya abatoninyira toninyira mukange abatunda emmere eyidde ekiro bantu nga 1,000 mu Kampala. Pulezidenti bonna yabatuukamu n'abaweerezaayo kapito 10,000 buli omu, 10,000 buli omu, ab'ebigaali 10,000 buli omu. Kati ofiisi ya controller era etuuse mu ba boda ebateereddewo looni ey'essente za wansi mu saako zaabwe. Kati ne boda ne ku PDM yennyini kituufu PDM erina okukwakuliza bwe tugenda okujjamu for urban areas twabazze okubitegeera tugenda kubujjamu bo basobole okukola ebyenjawulo ebitali bya agriculture. Ate sente mu Kampala abakafuna mu PDM bali 3,000 amaka 3,000 naye ne Wakiso 5,000 naye zino wa Kampala ne Wakiso kati mu kisanja ekijja kubanga tugenda kuwangula sente tugenda kuzongeza zive ku milioni 10 buli mwezi officially buli mwaka zibire milioni 3 buli mwaka. Naye ate kwezi ebisatu 30% z'abavuuka kiba kitegeeza milioni 9 zijja kubeera z'abavuuka. Ate abavuuka bazifuna batya? Ku kakiiko ka saako y'omuluka chairperson wa Youth Council w'omuluka ogwo abeera memba. Kitegeeza ba chairperson baffe ababavuuka balina okulwanira ensonga z'abavuuka balabe mbu bwe tubeera abagenda gaba ssente ezo abavuuka bawera enamba yaabwe 30% zigenda kubavuuka. Webale Your Excellency.
Thank you so much for that.
Two last questions you wanted.
No, I think I will leave mine for today. I will ask Katende, who had the influencer you have kept referring to, Kasuku, to say something on behalf of all of us who are here, to thank Mzee for the time that he has.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. For starters, it's what these suits. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you for the time you've given us to come here and have a chat with you. I know you have a very busy schedule, but you've taken time off to allow us to come here and have a few words with you. I'm a digital content creator, and yeah, you've said certain things about the internet and how it works, but I still feel if you allow, through Natasha, we want to engage you more with the digital content creators to make you understand our job. There are so many people who are employed through digital content creation. Maybe we can see how we try to explain to you what our job entails. How do we harmonize to bring it into most of the ideas you have about taking this country forward. Because most of the youth we are trying to talk to, the youth, the government says right now are the biggest population. They are dealing with digital and digital content creation. And we really need the government to come and we work together to harmonize with us, to enhance with us, to support us in all the ways possible as to be part of the government's programs going forward. So I don't know if you could allow us, we get some time.
You make proposals. You make proposals and bring them to Natasha.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Finally, as before I give a vote of thanks, they always tell us when you go to visit your Jajja, they pack for you things, matoke, sweet potatoes and what. So the people told me as I came, they told me, don't forget to tell Jajja that we are here. He should pack for us some things, give you, and you bring, we enjoy. As the Jajja, I said, well, Luseke moving, Luseke coming. Said yes, so as a Jajja, I'll be waiting. You load me with the things for the Bazukulu out there, and we go. I know you don't like dancing a lot, but man, we want to have a good time. So yes, we want to go out there and we enjoy ourselves here and there after we've seen our Jajja. Other than that, thank you very much for your time, and we hope you give us more of these engagements. May not be us necessarily all the time, but to those other people, because now we feel we are closer to you. I had never seen you one-on-one real time. So I used to say, hey, because growing up they told us, Museveni yali afuka kapa n'abulawo. So now I'm looking at the man, I'm like, wow, the guy is here. So it's a pleasure, and thank you, Natasha, for picking me out to represent all the other YouTubers out there. And I hope, like the president has asked, we are going to engage more with you, and you help us push the agenda. Mr. President, we are not bad people. We are only trying to do our jobs, to feed our families, and to see that we get better. So if we get into good books with you, I don't know who's told you people are misusing the internet, but well, those who are misusing it are few, and you can always curb them out. But the biggest part of us, we are really doing well on the internet. So thank you very much for your time, and we hope to see you again. Thank you.
Okay, regarding Okurongora is when people come, the way you reward, you give them gifts. I don't want to go to prison because I'm a candidate. So if I Kurongora people, I'll be arrested for bribing. So I think we shall have to wait after the election, then we sort out issues. Do we have a lawyer here? An NRM lawyer? Huh? Mm-hmm. But Dombo knows, she's from the security. What is the policy on gifts?
Hello, hello.
Your Excellency, there are certain activities accepted within the framework of the campaigns. For instance, the people who have come here have spent transport in truck in coming here.
That one I can refund.
Now for the other gifts, they will be best suited, Your Excellency, if it can be arranged after the elections and they come to congratulate you, then it would be a better time for it to happen. But the most important thing now is that they came from somewhere, they must go back and they spend on the way when they are coming. If you could, as you wish, and facilitate them to go back.
That one I will happily do. 1 million, 1 million.
That will be pleasant. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
That one I would happily do. Sagara gena mukomera. Okay.
Thank you, Mzee, so much for. Thank you, Mzee. Yes. Thank you, Mzee, for the time you have given us. And I trust that we will come back together. I hope you'll give us a chance to come as